You are listening to the Becoming the Wealthy You podcast with Jermaine Foley. If you're a woman who makes good money in your career or business, but you're not building wealth like you want to, then you're in the right place. In this podcast, you'll learn how to stop overspending, break free from the cycle of debt, save lots of cash, and become the wealthy woman you were born to be. Let's dive in. Well, hello, everyone. Welcome back to the podcast. I have a question for you. Do you ever wonder why you can't save or accumulate a significant amount of money, even though you make good money in your career or business? And maybe you even save that money, right? You transfer money to your savings. You've got it set up automatically, but no matter how hard you try, you find yourself dipping into that money. You find yourself not really being able to accumulate a significant amount of money. If that is you, this podcast is going to be so helpful because we are talking about a very important skill that all of us really need to learn if we want to build wealth. And that is the skill of having money. This is different than the skill of saving money. In episode 113, we looked at the skill of saving money. Now, the skill of saving money and the skill of having money are completely different. The skill of saving money is really about the mechanics, the behaviors of actually setting money aside and putting it away into a savings account, preferably a high yield savings account. So many people don't even do this, okay? So that's saving money. But the skill of having money is actually keeping that money, allowing it to accumulate. So when you do save the money, you're not spending it down. So you're allowing it to accumulate month after month after month, right? So that is the skill of having money. It's when you are comfortable with having money in your life, in your presence, without feeling the need to spend it down. Now, this is important because some of us are in what I call a money trance. We don't even realize it, but every single time we get paid, we automatically spend it all within days, or at least within that pay period, so that the next time we get paid, we literally have hardly any money to show from the last paycheck. It's like we're starting over from scratch every single time. And we do this over and over and over again. And what I really want to get across today is that you have to wake up from this trance. If you want to build wealth, you have to wake up from this trance and you have to develop the skill of having money. Okay? And so in this episode, we're going to look at the forces that are preventing you from having money. And then I'm going to walk you through a couple of strategies that can help you practice the skill of having money. Now, before we get into those forces and mindsets and strategies, we have to tackle the elephant in the room. I want you to know that if you are not a person who is able to accumulate money, I want you to know that there's nothing wrong with you. It's actually a very normal thing that many of us are programmed to do. I want you to know that our brains are so powerful and we pick up signals, we pick up messages, and a lot of the signals and messages we picked up were from our childhood. So if you lived in a household where there was very little money and maybe your parents lived paycheck to paycheck, you picked up that habit. You picked up that familiar thing. Now, sometimes when we see our parents struggle with money, we can say, nope, I'm not going to do that. And then you just decide early on that you're going to live a different life. But many of us, we just repeat those same patterns that we grew up with. So I want you to know that your brain just thinks this is normal. Your brain just thinks that this is how life is. That was my story. I thought that because the way I grew up and because the way I was behaving, even though I made good money, I never had any. Because of that, I just thought that was life. That was just how everybody lived until I woke up from the money trance, until I woke up to notice like, actually, no, it's my behaviors. It's the way I think. It's the way I act that is preventing me from building wealth. Okay, so there's nothing wrong with you. It's just a habit. It's just a pattern, and you can rewrite habits. You can rewrite patterns, but you have to wake up to the patterns. You have to wake up to the habits and say, oh, it's not that I'm bad with money. It's not that I am doomed or that I'll never be able to figure this out. I just have been programmed to not keep money, right? And so if that is you, I want you to know that there's hope and you can learn this skill. I promise you. This is not a skill that's reserved for certain people. All human beings can become good at having money. And so if you are a human being, then you can become good at having money. So know that your brain is just programmed to live the same familiar life over and over and over again. And if your life has been money in, money out, paycheck to paycheck, spending everything you make, even though you make really good money, even though you make decent money, then that doesn't mean you have a personality flaw or that you're just, irresponsible or undisciplined or out of control. It doesn't mean any of that. It just means you have some habits and patterns that need to be broken and retrained. And this is the work that I do with my clients in my coaching programs. So if this is something that you really want to work on, the first thing you should do is sign up for my free training, which is called How to Build Wealth Without Going on a Strict Budget. In that training, I walk you through the 4 essentials you need to hold on to if you want to build wealth and still live a fulfilling, fun life. And then at the end of that training, you will be invited to book a financial clarity consultation. Now, this is reserved for people who are like, oh my gosh, I need help with this. I've been trying to do this on my own for years, and I'm ready to figure this out for good, and I want some help doing it. And I will literally get on Zoom with you. We will talk about where you are, where you want to be. And if I think that I can help you get there, which more than likely I think I will be able to, then I will tell you exactly how we can do that in my programs and in my coaching. Okay. So all you have to do is go to jermainefoley.com/wealth-class. That's Jermaine with a G, foley.com/wealth-class to get your hands on that class. As soon as you sign up, you'll immediately be taken to the video training. You can speed it up. This is a pro tip. Speed up the video to like 1.25 or 1.5 speed. And if the invitation I give you to book that call lands for you, if it resonates for you, do it. Don't let your brain talk you out of it. Don't let your brain keep you in your familiar comfort zone. Just book the call. Okay, so remember, just go to jermainefoley.com/wealth-class or go to the show notes and sign up. Okay, so let's dive into what I have for you today. So as I've been doing with all of these episodes, so remember, this episode is one of many in this series of the Skills of Money episodes, right? I told you that I will be walking you through all of the different skills of money. There are 10 of them. And so today we're tackling the skill of having money. And we always want to start with the mindset, because the way you think, you guys, is the most important thing. The way you think about money, the way you think about what's possible for you, the way you think about what you can do for yourself, how you can free yourself from the cycles of overspending and debt and little to no savings and not investing. What you think matters more than anything else. And it is important that you tackle any mindsets that are preventing you from moving forward, because the way you think determines how you will proceed. It determines how you will act, if you will even try, or if you will just continue to live the same life over and over again. So with that, we have to tackle the mindset. So there's 3 of them today that we're going to look at. The first one is the money is meant to be spent mentality. This is the belief that money is for spending, not for having. Thoughts like, I have it, so why not enjoy it? Or I'll just figure it out later. I'm just going to live life now. I'll figure it out later. Or I'll just make more money. I'll just make more to cover up what I just did. And although those can seem empowering, like I'll just make more money, the truth is making more money will not fix poor money management skills. If you do not have the skill of having money, then it doesn't matter how much money you make, you're going to continue to perpetuate money in, money out. Okay. So the reframe I want to offer you for this one is, instead of thinking that money is meant to be spent, Think of money as a tool that can be used for many things. Spending is one of them, but you can also multiply your money. You can also give money. You can also build wealth with money. You can also provide yourself with experiences and enhance your life. You can do so many things with money. But if you're walking around thinking that money is meant to be spent, then you're going to fulfill that. It's going to be a self-fulfilling prophecy for you. So if you find yourself walking around thinking money is meant to be spent, I'll just make more of it, or I'll figure out how to clean up this mess later, or any of those kinds of thoughts, then I want to offer you the reframe that money is a tool that can be used to take care of you now and in the future. This shift will help you expand the role of money in your life beyond just the present moment and just spending, right? Yes, again, money can be spent, but it can do so many other things. And if you only look at money as a tool for spending, then you're missing out on so much more. Namely, the eighth wonder of the world, that you can literally multiply your money. Your money can make you more money. Your money can accumulate and compound and just blow up if you let it. But if you're always sending it away, if you're always spending it, you will never, ever be able to reap that benefit. And that is the benefit that wealthy people hold on to. And remember, this podcast is about becoming the wealthy you. So if you want to become wealthy, then you have to get out of the mindset that money is meant to be spent. Spending is just a small portion of what you can do with your money. It's just one thing, and there's so many others. So open up your mind to those things as well. Another mindset that we want to reframe is this thought process that you can't take it with you. The belief that money should be spent and enjoyed now because there's no point in saving it for the future. This can also fall under the YOLO mindset, the you only live once mindset, which is often what a lot of us think about money. So whenever we want to give ourselves the permission to just spend frivolously or unintentionally or impulsively, we say, well, you only live once, right? And that just gives us permission. And it's true, we only live once. And while you can't take it with you, the life expectancy, especially for women, is higher than ever. You could literally live for 4 to 5 more decades or beyond. So why not use your money to care for both your present and future self? Also, if you have a family, one of the greatest gifts you can give them is an inheritance. The Bible says that a good woman leaves an inheritance for her children's children. So I want you to think about that. Sometimes we kind of get self-centered when it comes to our money. And yes, you should definitely be taking care of yourself. But what about the next generation? If you have children, what about them? What about your grandchildren? If you don't have children, do you have nieces and nephews that you want to set up? One of my clients, she doesn't have children, but the way she and her sister grew up was very impoverished, and her goal is to help her nieces not to take on that whole lifestyle that her and her sister dealt with. Then I have clients who do not have children, but they have causes that are super important to them. So think beyond just yourself and this present moment. Think about, okay, first of all, so if you're in your 40s, you could live to 100. And so that's 60 more years. You could have more years in front of you than behind you. If you're in your 30s, that's 70 more years. And even if you don't think you could live to 100, what about 80? So there's so much life ahead of you. Even if you're in your 60s, if you're going to live to 80 or 90, you still have 30 years ahead of you. So let's stop just thinking about this present moment. Let's reframe that you only live once or you can't take it with you to thinking like, wow, I could live 30, 40, 60 more years. And I want to take care of not only my current self, like I want to enjoy life today, but I want to set myself up so that I'm enjoying life even beyond, that I'm not a burden, that I don't find myself in a home that is not up to the standards I want to live in my elderly years, right? So how can you shift that mindset and think beyond just today and beyond just yourself if that resonates with you? Even if you're single, you can still think beyond just yourself. Okay. And one of the ideas I want to offer is this. You can give your kids a part of their inheritance even while you're living. And I feel like I'm doing that now. So one of my dreams is to be able to send my kids to college debt-free, because I know how burdensome it is to have a ton of student loan debt. So my husband and I graduated, and together we had over $100,000 worth of student loan debts. And so one of the things I want to do for my kids is not even put that burden on them. And so that's part of their inheritance. I have other dreams for when they get their first house and when they have their first child. I want to do all these cool things. I want to take them on vacation when they have their families. I want to do all these cool things. And I consider that as part of their inheritance. And I get to experience the joy of that while being here on earth. And I don't have to just think about, oh, when I die, I'm leaving them all this money. I can give them some of that now and actually enjoy doing that. So think of that as well. The other mindset I want to tackle is the I deserve it mentality. The I deserve it mentality leads so many people to spend impulsively because they feel that they've worked hard and they should be able to buy what they want when they want it and should never, ever have to tell themselves no. I actually had a client who's like, I grew up so poor, I could barely get anything that I wanted. And I decided that when I grew up, I was going to be able to buy whatever I want. I was going to put myself in a position so that I would never, ever, ever have to tell myself no. And what I pointed out to her is that with every no, there's a yes. And with every yes, there is a no. So although you always say yes to all the impulsive things you want to buy, what you're saying no to is wealth. What you're saying no to is peace of mind. What you're saying no to is being able to accumulate money and travel whenever you want to without money being an issue. So you say no to a lot of things that truly, truly matter to you, that are really important to you, when you're always saying yes to impulsive urges and impulsive things you just want to buy to give yourself an emotional fix or an emotional dopamine hit. So here's what I want you to know about this. Yes, you deserve whatever you desire. There is nothing on this earth, no material thing, no experience that is too good for you. However, I want you to consider, what season of life are you in financially? Are you in the season of life where you can buy any and everything because you've set yourself up to be building wealth on autopilot? Your income is really, really high and you have this really large portion of disposable income and all your other financial goals are met. If that's the case, then go for it, right? If you impulsively buying things will not hinder you from building wealth, will not hinder you from reaching your financial goals, if you're setting yourself up for a future that is going to be just as abundant or even more abundant than your current life, then go for it. But if you're in the season where you have some work to do, maybe you need to get out of debt, maybe you need to build up some savings, maybe you need to start investing more, maybe you need to work on your overspending so that you can get yourself to the place where you're doing all these other things that I mentioned. If that's the season of life that you're in, then this is where you really want to question this I deserve it. And you do it by also thinking about what else you deserve even more. You deserve to be able to build wealth. You deserve to have financial peace of mind. You deserve to stop worrying about money all the time. You deserve to live a life that is not constantly thinking about money. You also deserve that. And when you can grab a hold of the other things you deserve as well, then this I deserve it mindset gets flipped on its head. Okay, so now let's go ahead and look at some of the strategies that you can start to work on in order to build the skill of having money. First is to develop awareness. I told you at the beginning that a lot of us are walking around in a money trance. We have to wake up from that. And the way you wake up from it is just like snapping your fingers and saying, okay, become vigilant about what you're doing with money. Become vigilant about your impulsive spending. Become vigilant about the fact that, oh my gosh, I'm about to transfer from my savings to my checking so that I can spend on something that I really don't need. You have to wake up to all of those habits and all of those patterns that you're so used to doing. You have to be willing to wake up from the get paid, spend everything you make, get paid again, spend everything you make pattern. There's a meme that I absolutely love, and I share it sometimes on social media. It's this saying that you want to forget that it's payday. One of the best feelings in the world is to forget that it's payday because you're not living check to check. You're not spending all the money in your checking account. You still have money in your checking account. You have money in savings and you're like, oh my gosh, I got paid today. I forgot about it. Or sometimes it could be 2 days later. Like, oh my gosh, I got paid a couple weeks ago. Cool. Like, oh yeah, that's cool. It's not like you're sitting there waiting for your paycheck because you've spent everything. This is especially true for my ladies who are listening to me. If you're listening to me and you make good money in your career or business and you know that you make enough to not live check to check, but you are living check to check, this is the thing you need to work on more than anything is awareness. And you need to wake up out of that money trance that you're in so that you can start forgetting that it's payday, so that you still have money left in your checking account and you have money in savings and you're not sitting waiting for that next paycheck, right? There's nothing wrong if that's where you are, but that is not where you need to stay. That's not where you have to stay. And all you have to do is make a decision that you're not going to live like this anymore. And awareness is the key to that. The other strategy is to practice what I call allowing urges. I want you to hear me on this. Every single time you give in to a spending urge, you teach your brain to keep giving you those urges. So every time you give into a spending urge, you get a nice little dopamine hit, and your brain loves dopamine hits. That's the feel-good neurotransmitter, dopamine. And every time your brain offers you an urge and you answer that urge with spending, your brain is like, ooh, keep offering her the urges, because every time we offer her that urge, she gives in. So keep offering. And that is where a lot of us find ourselves. So to break out of that, you have to start recognizing the urges and pausing before giving into them. Putting that pause and be like, oh my gosh, I'm experiencing an urge right now. Interesting. And literally just let the urge be there. Urges are not emergencies, and they usually dissolve within a couple of minutes. So if you can pause, that is a beautiful thing. You are putting time and space. You are giving your prefrontal cortex, your higher part of your brain, an opportunity to take control. This is why for myself, I always wait 24 to 48 hours before I buy something that's impulsive, right? So if I go to a store and I see something that I want, I don't just buy it right then and there. I say, okay, if I want it tomorrow or in 2 days, 2 days is really, I think, the sweet spot for most people, then I'll come back and get it. And 9 times out of 10, you never ever want the thing and you don't go get it. And sometimes you do, and that's okay. And it gives you an opportunity to make sure that however you decide to buy it, you buy it in a smart way. So you're not going into debt for it. You figure out, okay, do I need to move some money around? Can I just use my spending money? You figure out a way to get it that doesn't harm you. Okay, so allowing urges is something that I teach in all of my coaching programs. This is a skill in and of itself. And I even have a course that you can take called the Stop Overspending course, where this is all we really work on. We really dive deep into the psychology of overspending, how to allow urges. I give you strategies and concepts. This is an on-demand, do-it-yourself course that you can go through at your leisure, and it's only $97. You can actually go to the webpage and grab it right now or to the show notes. And you can do that by going to jermainefoley.com/SOS. Or again, you can go to the show notes and purchase the course. That course is so good, and it's really around the psychology of why we overspend, how to stop overspending. I give you so many mindset tools, strategies, and concepts, and you really learn the behind the scenes of why you're doing what you're doing. Because remember, I opened up this episode with there's nothing wrong with you. You just are in patterns and habits that are preventing you from having money. And one of the main habits is the habit of impulse spending, emotional spending, and overspending. They're kind of all intertwined, but they can happen for different reasons. And that course addresses all of those reasons. And it really sets you up to be able to build wealth and still enjoy life at the same time. So again, if you're interested, you can go to jermainefoley.com/SOS or go to the show notes and you can sign up there. Okay, and so the final strategy I'm going to give you right now is the strategy around practicing actually having money. So in episode 113, we talked about how to automate your savings. And as you do this, depending on, the amount you are going to start with, you're going to notice the money accumulating, and you want to really log into your accounts, practice having it, practice seeing the money grow and be comfortable with it, and just be proud of yourself and celebrate all your milestones. That can happen over time depending on how much you're saving per paycheck or per week or per month. But here is an exercise that you literally can start this week, and it will really turbo boost your skill of having money. And I call it the wallet exercise. So what you do is you go to the bank, you withdraw a $100 bill. You put it in your wallet or in your purse, wherever you'll see it regularly. So I carry a Tory Burch crossbody that's kind of like a wallet and a purse at the same time. It's got the slots for the credit cards. It's got the little area for your cash. So put $100 in your wallet or purse wherever you'll see it on a daily basis. And practice having that money for 30 days without spending it. So practice walking around with $100 in your purse or wallet without spending it. And notice the urges you have to spend it. Notice how uncomfortable it may feel, and just feel that discomfort. And what you're doing is you're teaching your brain that it is safe to have money. It is safe to feel uncomfortable with having money and to still have it and not to spend it. Okay, this is an exercise that I did. I did it with a lot more money. I just really wanted to practice big time. I did it with $500 at one point. And it was 5 $100 bills. And I walked around for a long time. I want to say it was past 30 days with this amount of money. And that was me practicing having money. And so I think a great place to start for you would be with $100. Just walk around with it. Practice seeing it every day when you open up your wallet to pull out your debit card or to get gas or to pay for groceries or your credit card, whatever you're doing, or when you go in your purse for anything, that money is there. You want to put it somewhere where you'll see it and practice having it. That is one way to really accelerate your skill of having money. And then after you do it for 30 days, do it for another 30 days and just keep going until you feel like, okay, I'm really good with having this $100. I actually like having this $100. This is my new normal. I always will want to walk around with $100 in my purse. That's how you want to retrain your brain. You want to become, remember, this podcast is all about becoming the wealthy you. So you want to become the woman who can walk around with $100 in her purse and feel very comfortable having it and not feeling like she needs to spend it. And that just can become who you are. And in the background, you're also accumulating money in your savings and you're celebrating those wins as well and those milestones. So remember, having money is a skill that can be learned. And remember to listen to episode 113 if you haven't listened to that one. That's about the mechanics of saving money. So you want to have that going on in the background where you're saving money on autopilot using the mindsets and strategies I gave you in episode 113. And then on top of that, you want to start the $100 wallet exercise and do it for the next 30 days. And this is where I'll leave you for today. Building the skill of having money is essential if you want to build wealth and enjoy life at the same time. You have to learn how to have and accumulate money. I hope this episode was helpful. I will see you next time. Bye-bye. Wait, before you go, have you checked out my free class? It's all about the steps you need to take if you want to build wealth without going on a strict budget. To sign up, simply go to jermainfoley.com/wealth class. That's Jermaine with a G, Foley.com/wealth class. See you in there.